Hi, thank you for joining us for Influence, a show all about the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. My name is Jada Chubb, and I serve as the Director of Academic Relations, Curriculum, and Advising. With me today, we'll be talking with Dr. Sherry Worthy, who serves as the Director of the School of Human Sciences. Dr. Worthy, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Great. Well, we're so excited you're here back at Mississippi State, and so we want to learn just a little bit more about you and hear more about your story. So can you talk to us about your educational journey and then also just the School of Human Sciences?
Sure. Yeah. So I guess I was born and raised in rural North Dakota, and then from there I went to the University of Minnesota and got my MBA in marketing, and then got my PhD in consumer economics. My first job out of graduate school was as an assistant professor here in the School of Human Sciences at Mississippi State University. So I actually was here for 15 years, got promoted to associate professor and then professor. And then in about 2012, I believe it was, I was given the opportunity to serve as department head for the University of Georgia in the Department of Financial Planning, Housing, and Consumer Economics. And so I did that for 9 years, and I would have to say it was the most fun I've had in my whole career at that point. And I also, while I was there, served as associate dean for a couple of years, and then I actually had the opportunity to serve as the interim dean while we were doing a search for a new dean for the College of Family and Consumer Sciences at UGA. And then when the opportunity to come back to Mississippi State came up for the Director of Human Sciences position, I just had to jump at it because I thought it really used a lot of my skill set and my expertise that I had acquired over the years. So that's kind of my academic journey. And then a little bit about the School of Human Sciences, just in case people don't know about the School of Human Sciences. We are one of the departments within the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, but we're like a little bit elevated from a department just because we have multiple programs, extension programs, experiment station research that happens within the school. And so I can tell you a little bit about the academic programs, and just for those who don't know, one of them is Ag Education, Leadership, and Communication, and students who want to major in that, they can either do a concentration in Ag Ed, a concentration in Ag Leadership, or a concentration in Ag Communication. They could also choose to do a master's or a PhD in Ag and Extension Education. We also have Fashion Design and Merchandising, which has been kind of new to me, but in that, of course, the students can do the concentration in design and product development or in merchandising, and then they can also pursue a master's if they choose to. And then HDFS, or the Human Development and Family Science option of our school, they offer concentrations in child development, and within child development you can actually do an online degree in that as well. Or you can concentrate in child life, which is working specifically with children in children's hospitals. You could concentrate in youth studies, which also has an online degree option, family studies, and then also family consumer sciences teacher education. And the people who do that, they go out and are able to teach in the classrooms, in the Family and Consumer Sciences classroom. So, so that's just a little bit about the School of Human Sciences, but there's a lot going on in the school. So.
Absolutely, and it sounds like it. It sounds like there's a lot of really great degree programs students can pursue at the undergraduate and the graduate level, which is really exciting to hear.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Can you talk a little bit more about your journey to return to Mississippi State? I know you mentioned you were previously a Bulldog and then you left for a little while and now you've come back in a leadership role. Can you talk about what that journey has been like for you?
Sure, thanks for asking. I guess I've been a career Bulldog. So I came back here specifically because, as I said, I really loved my role as department head. And I know a lot of people say that being a department head is the hardest job on campus, and it is. But also for me, it was the most fulfilling job because you are in there in the trenches day to day, rolling up your sleeves with faculty, staff, and students and figuring out how to make things work and working together toward goals. And I just really, really love that. And so in the director position, I get an opportunity to kind of do that again. But also because this is a school, there's also kind of an opportunity to bring in some of those skills that I learned in my role as dean, because there's just multiple programs and multiple things going on to try to orchestrate within the school. So, so I think it's kind of used both of those things for me. And then since I've been back, I've been having a great time kind of learning about the school. And so I think the first couple of weeks that I was here, maybe it was in the first week, I don't know, I signed raise letters for over 100 people. And so I was like, who all works here? I don't recognize these names. And so I've been learning all the things that are going on in School of Human Sciences. We have about 27 full-time faculty, but then we have multiple staff that are across the state doing different programs and extension programs and things like that. So we really have just a lot going on. And so I've also made time to meet with every individual faculty member just to learn about their research and their outreach programs. And then we have started a strategic planning process in the school. So the different academic units have been meeting, and they have all gone through the process now of doing their SWOT analyses. So we've got that done. And our next thing will be to get together as a unit and kind of finalize our mission statement and our vision and our values, and then come up with goals and specific tactics about how we're going to achieve those goals. So I'm really looking forward to that part. And then the other thing that I've taken the time to do that has been really fun is sitting in on some of the classes that faculty are teaching. So I've started out focusing on the junior faculty and watching their classes. So one week I sat in on Dr. Jessica Pattison's draping class and got to learn how the students they designed a full skirt, or a full skirt. And then the next day I sat in on Mr. Justin Hall's class of ag mechanics and got to learn about small engine theory. So everything under the sun is within our school. We also have the Child Development and Family Studies Center, which serves 118 children on campus and their families. So we're pretty proud of that as well.
Absolutely. So it sounds like in the few months that you've been back on campus, you've been really busy and just kind of rolling up your sleeves and getting to work and learning a little bit more about the department, which is really exciting to hear. So can you touch more on just the impact the School of the Human Sciences has on our state? You talked about a lot of different programs, so I'd love for you to just share a little bit more about that with our audience today.
Yeah, our school has so much impact on the state. We've got such a variety of programs, as you can imagine, just from the different areas. But just to list a few, we have, right now we're operating 3 Head Start centers in the state that serve about 130 children from low-income families. We have 30 resource and referral centers statewide, and these are centers that provide educational materials and activities for young children, so teachers and parents can come and check out those materials. We have the Nurturing Homes Initiative, which is a program that resources are given to people who are providing in-home childcare, and I think we've touched maybe 38 counties across the state and over 162 providers. We have also got Dr. Lori Staten has a project called TIPS, which is trauma-informed parenting. I knew I was going to mess that up, but it's working with trauma and making sure that we can help like children who have been victims of abuse or trauma and educating them. And they have done over 3,000 toolkits that have gone out to families across the state for that particular program. The Thad Cochran Leadership Institute has been housed in the School of Human Sciences, which is for kind of educating the new emerging leaders in agriculture. We've got a faculty member who is working on, or actually a couple of faculty members who are working on program that is going to be creating virtual field trips related to agriculture that will be not only shared across the state but to students nationwide. And then just this morning I was at the expo at the Horse Park about extension, and I talked with Dr. Ryan Akers. He started the My PI program in Mississippi, and that is a program for teenagers to learn how to deal with disaster and be prepared for emergencies. And that is now in, I think he said 36 states and 2 territories now, so it's really expanded and made a big impact. So those are just a few programs, and I know I probably left somebody out, so I apologize to anybody if I didn't talk about your program, but that's just a little taste of what we're doing.
Absolutely. And it sounds like there's already so many great things that are happening in the School of Human Sciences. And that's personally one of the things that I've loved about working in the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. There's so many different ways you can get experience and exposure and really just have a direct impact on our state. And I think that's really important for students, faculty, staff, and our stakeholders.
Yeah,
and so
absolutely.
I'm curious if you can talk more about just your vision for the School of Human Sciences. Obviously, there's a lot of really great things that are already happening, but can you talk more about what you're hoping to contribute underneath your leadership?
Yeah, for sure. What I don't want to come in and say, this is my vision and we're going to do this. So that's one of the reasons that we're going through this strategic planning process, is so the vision can kind of bubble up from the faculty and the students. But one of the things, as you'll know, that we do a variety of things and have a lot of expertise in the School of Human Sciences. And also Mississippi has a lot of needs. Right. And so the big vision that I have is for our faculty to continue to research and figure out what those needs are in the state and find out what are the things that we can do using our expertise and the resources that we have to try to tackle those problems or try to help solve some of those problems. Mm-hmm. And a couple of the things that I've got kind of as focus areas that I'm wanting to target these things with is, first of all, programs related to student teaching and also just engagement of students. And then we're also doing a lot trying to foster collaborations with faculty, and then also just being very mindful of well-being and making sure that the well-being of our students and our faculty and our staff is being taken into account. So that's kind of what I'm working on.
That's fantastic. And I think as I was listening to you just kind of share a little bit more about that, I feel like the School of Human Sciences perfectly captures, our vision for Mississippi State to just take care of what matters and thinking about how we are feeding and caring and clothing the world. And so as I was just listening to you talk about that, that just resonated with me. And I think that's really exciting to get to be at the forefront of that mission. Yeah. Dr. Worthy, can you talk a little bit about just your time on campus? So maybe tell us, where do you like to spend time when you're not working on strategic plans and meeting with students and faculty? Where do you like to spend time on campus?
Well, I have to say right now, my favorite place on campus is my office. And I say this because you all have to come and visit me in my office, because I am lucky enough to have windows that look over the junction and right at the football stadium. And so my office on a Friday afternoon before a home football game is rocking. I will tell you, there are all the tailgaters out there ready to put their tents up. There's music blaring from the stadium, and it's just energizing and electric. And it really makes me excited about why I came back to Mississippi State and just to be a part of that.
Yeah, that's so fantastic. And we're so glad that you're here, Dr. Worthy, and we're just looking forward to hearing all the great things that you accomplish in your leadership as a director of the School of Human Sciences. So thank you for your time today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you all for joining us, and tune in next month for another episode of Influence.